dum, 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 dum. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm not going to exercise or smoke in this shirt. So that there's no smells and there's no stains. It's the Martha's Vineyard Jaws shirt. And so the 50th anniversary is this Friday. No, that's not it. Yeah, my mom always wanted to see Martha's Vineyard. And then finally she went with my stepdad to Martha's Vineyard on the way to Maine. And they saw where the rich and the famous live, and they saw where they filmed Jaws. They saw where the Obamas lived at and all that. The Obamas, Barack, Michelle, and Sasha, and then what? There was another one too, huh? That was like a more African name. Huh? Yeah, when I saw Jaws, I knew it was like when I was a kid. I knew it was somewhere in the Northeast, but I didn't know exactly where Jaws was filmed 50 years ago. This Friday, yeah, it's gonna be June 20th, 1975 to 2025. Yeah, I thought he was like one of the coolest actors of all time was Roy Schneider. Yeah, I always really liked him. Not just in Jaws, but Blue Thunder. And there was... Yeah, I guess they kind of underutilized him as... He usually played a cop, like in The French Connection. Yeah, French Connection, that's an amazing movie too. The guy's in a lot of great shit. Yeah, a lot of fantastic shit. And there's also a movie with Roy Schneider that's where he's in Houston. It's called Night Game. And it's a really crappy movie, actually. But it shows the Balinese, and it shows a lot of areas of Houston that don't exist anymore. Or because the Balinese and it was blown away in Hurricane Ike. And that was the same place where like Frank Sinatra and those guys in the Rat Pack back in the days used to perform. You can imagine like Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack and like Dean Martin like back in the day, like go into the club by the sea on the Gulf Coast and the Balinese, and like the incredible nights and the music and the drinking and the cigars and the dancing and everything used to go on back in the day. Yeah. So Night Game is a good like Houston tour guide circa late 1980s with Roy Snyder. Has a lot of it has the iconic Houston Astrodome when it was in full tilt, full usage, and Galveston, and it's almost it doesn't hit every iconic place in Houston, but it does a pretty good job. And then in the early '90s, my friend Jeff was really getting into it, and yeah, usually Roy Snyder played cops in movies and stuff, but the good guys, yeah, typically speaking. Also, 2010, the year we made contact. Yeah, that's a good one too. I like that. I usually don't like sequels, but that one I thought it was okay. Even though it had the yawn, the 1980s theme, Soviet Union versus U.S. Sometimes when I rewatch old 1980s movies, I go, yawn. Soviet Union versus U.S. Yawn. But, I understand. That was the time period. The two great powers of the world going at it. Yeah. So what was one of the funniest things about Martha's Vineyard? When Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Democrats let in 10 to 12 million illegal aliens. So the governors of the Republican governors got pissed in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis and Governor Greg Abbott from Texas. So they thought it was funny to like send the illegal immigrants to Martha's Vineyard, where all the elite, the wealthy people, the bi-coastal elites. It's so funny. Except for the Obamas, it's like these wealthy elite white neighborhoods, right? With their perfect white, like families and lives and shit. Look up. They're in Martha's Vineyard. They go out their door in their mansions, and they see like illegal aliens everywhere and shit, and like criminals. Oh man, that was fucking hilarious. God. Dun, 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 dun. Am I scared of swimming in the water? I guess the older you get, like maybe you get more scared of more things, maybe, or less. I guess it could work in reverse too. But yeah, I love the joy of just swimming, But can't always, if you're in muddy waters or oil waters, tar waters, like Galveston. If you can't see clear water, it's like, oh man. Yeah, you get kind of an uneasy feeling. You don't mind if some fish pop out or something, but you don't want to get stung by jellyfish, and you don't want to get caught in some seaweed, and you definitely don't want to get bit by a shark. And you don't want to get carried out by a riptide current, and you don't want to be drowned by getting pushed down by the wave. And So yeah, there's lots of great ways to die in the water, you know. So but sometimes in life you just have to jump in. So and not worry, right? Because like you would never have any fun if you were always like neurotically going, "Oh my god, something could go wrong," you know. So when I went to Table Rock Lake with my friend's wedding in Missouri, staying there for a few days, and I never went on a night lake swim before, and so he's like, "Hey, let's go swimming," and I was like, "All right." So we jumped off the dock in the pier in the middle of the black of night, and swam in the Table Rock Lake in Shellnut, Missouri, and it was exhilarating feeling. You know, we were cutting loose, like even though we were older in our 30s, we were. You know, like the grandma jumping out of the fucking airplane. We were like, fuck it, let's have fun, you know, right? So like a kid would just automatically, fun would be on a kid's mind, you know, right? It's not automatically like a kid just wants to play all the time. You know, just automatically without like the mind of a child is like, let's have fun, let's play. Yeah. And then maybe when I was swimming in the dark lake waters, I thought to myself, what if a snake bit me in my balls or my butthole? And then I was like, well, that's probably not going to happen. The likelihood of that happening is probably, let's just, instead of focusing on snakes coming up the butthole, why don't we think about having fun? Yeah, and swimming and stuff. Okay. Yeah, all right. But one time I was swimming in Galveston, you know, and the waters were muddy and it was a gray day. It was a nasty day down there. And then I stepped on a rubbery thing and I was like, oh God, what did I just... Sometimes when I'm swimming in the ocean, I'm like, oh Lord, what did I just touch? Especially if I can't see it. It's kind of like in the Star Wars, and most of that shit's like, it's either like George Lucas Star Wars, like most everything that goes against the good guys, it's like either claustrophobic or it's fucking, you can't see the creature, the aliens in the water and stuff. It's just all those kind of like phobias like that. Yeah, almost every like alien or negative encounter is some sort of fear of like the wilderness and creature fear porn. Creature sci-fi horror kind of thing. Or it's either like physical or it's like psychological terror. So Phobos and Deimos, fear and dread. Jaws, yeah. But we're not like officially celebrating the 50th anniversary yet on Friday. Yes, we will have quite the shindiggery. We'll have quite the party, I think. You know, maybe. Yeah, my mom was like kind of like living out her like childhood, you know, because she was like what, 10 years old when Jaws came out or something? No, I'm sorry. No, she was 13. Yeah. So it's like, I like hearing boomers' memories from the 1960s and 1970s. I like that. Not everybody does, but I kind of dig it. I like hearing stories of people's youths. I like to hear stories of their childhood or their like young days, because people always have like fantastic memories about their youth. Not everybody has obviously a fantastic youth, but I'm saying for the most part, they generally, they're all usually always positive, unless they had a lot of abuse or trauma or something go real wrong. Yeah. I thought about using an air fryer, no oil, and if that would be healthier. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm gonna try it tonight then. Egg rolls with no oil. I don't know. It could turn out like shit. I don't know. Or it could be. On the other hand, it might be a flavorful experience that I want to have again. Imagine the possibilities of the air fryer. Is it good or is it like shit? Is it just bullshit? Yeah, I don't really have a problem with like Israel and the United States doing regime change on the Ayatollahs in Iran. But is there anything that kind of does bother me? Yeah, maybe there's only one thing that bothers me about it. The real possibility of revenge or retaliation. So for the American people, that's the part that, or the Jewish people. Yeah. So no good deed in this world goes unpunished. Right? But sometimes things have to get done and people have to go away. And so, yeah. Sometimes entire countries have to go away. And entire governments, entire regimes. So, yeah. Sometimes you have to eliminate your adversaries. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, if you have adversaries that pose a threat, you have to eliminate them. It makes sense. It's sort of like, doesn't Samuel Jackson say in one of the movies, "What are we going to use? Harsh language?" Is that him who says that? enemies learn from consequences, and so they get learnt. So we'll see what happens. If it's a big fat, fucking disaster, or it's smooth like Smoothie King. So we'll see, or somewhere in between, I guess. Smooth like Smoothie King. Yeah. It's a wow, 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 wow. It's like, what the hell? It's just... Get like... Is it better to win with a few wounds? It's probably better to win with a few wounds and a few scars. Yeah. Victory or death. Failure is worth it. Is worse than death. Really, it's dishonorable. So, at least that's my opinion. That failure is worse than death. Not everybody feels that way, but that's the way I feel about it. Oh, it's Juneteenth yet? Oh, not quite yet. We have a bit of a while before we get to the magic of Juneteenth. Oh yeah, so it was called Sequest DSV, and Roy Snyder. I don't know. I guess he never was a part of Star Trek because he was like, maybe he thought that was like beneath him, or maybe, or I don't know if he was offered anything on Star Trek. But he did do a show that was Star Trek-like, but it was in the oceans of the Earth. So it was called Sequest DSV, Sequest Discovery, and what's that guy, Jonathan Brandis or whatever? I forgot his name actually. It's something Landis, Brandish, some shit like that. Anyway, he was like this fresh-faced kid, and he was like more charismatic than fucking River Phoenix. He was like way more charismatic than Leonardo DiCaprio. He was more charismatic than fucking even Johnny Depp, kind of in a way. And so, this fresh-faced, all-American kid, he had a really bright future ahead, I think, in Hollywood. And he was in this show that was kind of like, it wasn't a hit, but it was almost a hit. It was almost there. Maybe if it was set in outer space, maybe if it was like an outer space show like Star Trek, maybe it would have caught on like more if they were like exploring different planets and the universe and all that stuff. Yeah. And Roy Snyder was the captain of the Sequest, and of course, I guess I think he was. I'm gonna look up his name real quick. My photographic memory was correct. It was Jonathan Brandis. I know what it was. My photographic memory was telling me that it was. My eidetic memory was saying it's Jonathan Brandis, and then my own mind was questioning myself. I was like, hold on, can someone be called Brandis? I thought they're called Brandon. So I was having a disagreement in my mind on my memory, whether it was accurate or not. So I apologize for that. I got it right the first time. Trust yourself, especially if you got talent. So Jonathan Brandis was he was in Sequest DSV, and then my friend Jeff, he was like, "Oh, Sequest DSV, and let's watch it. Oh, it's this new show, like back in the day." And we were middle school, and so I watched a few episodes, and I was like, yeah. I mean, I love Roy Snyder. I like Jonathan Brandis, but I was like, it's like underwater. I don't know, like. Interesting idea, but we're gonna find aliens and dinosaurs and shit. Kind of just not that interesting. And it was canceled after 2 seasons, so I guess the audience wasn't intrigued by it either. So I think Star Trek and Star Wars kind of endures in popularity because people are inherently curious and interested in outer space. Like that is like, the final frontier, the great unknown. That's like the ultimate. And so what could have developed out there in the over 2 trillion galaxies, and this universe alone? What could have creatures and life forms developed out there? It is quite intriguing. Yeah. The greatest adventure of all time, as John Fitzgerald Kennedy used to say. It is definitely the greatest adventure of all time, without a doubt. And then Jonathan Brandis was in a movie with Chuck Norris called Sidekicks, and that was filmed here in Houston. And a lot of it was, or all of it. Yeah. So I don't know if it was a good movie, but I guess it's like Karate Kid for white people or something. It's the white Karate Kid. There's no Japanese or Mexican people or Italian people in it. The white Karate Kid. That idea made me laugh. White Karate Kid. That girl that plays Daniel LaRusso's daughter, she's fucking hot. She's a cutie from... What happened to Jonathan Brandis? His career stalled out. As many child actors it does. Doesn't always translate into future success. So, and also what could derail an actor's careers if they have a bomb project, like they have something that just doesn't work out, like Sequest DSV, or who was going to be like a really big star was Kenneth Marshall, I think, in the 1980s, but he did this really weird movie called Kroll 1983 that introduced Liam Neeson and Robbie Coltrane to the world, more or less. To me, it's a fantastic movie, but it just didn't catch on. It was just too weird. I'm into that weird shit. So I like me some weird movies. not too weird like Beau Was Afraid. That movie's a little bit too weird for me. Maybe not that strange, but creatively strange, like Krull 1983. So Kenneth Marshall, he was going to be this big, like, he was in Marco Polo miniseries. He was going to be this big star, like this big dude. Like he was going to be competing with, Tom Selleck and fucking Bruce Willis and Tom Cruise and all the Harrison Ford, all the big dogs. And then he did Krull 1983. And he never ascended to the big league dog, the big dog leagues. And so just went, yeah, unfortunately. So Jonathan Landis's career stalled out, and then he committed suicide. So he was just like, oh well, shit ain't working out. Fuck it. Yeah, unfortunately. But when things aren't working out, that's the time to make them work out, So I know not everybody thinks that way. I know some people are like, "Oh, I fucked up," it's over, and that's sad. Yeah, I mean, if he had just like cleaned up and just just got back on the horse. He probably would have. He probably would have had a great career in his adulthood, maybe. Instead of having a fatalist attitude about everything. Well, I need to look over my pie pies order for tomorrow. No, we're probably not having pie pies. I'm just joking. Some pie pies. I love that chicken from Popeyes, fresh from New Orleans. Chicken, Louisiana kitchen chicken and the biscuits. Sounds good. Then they had this one YouTuber he was just talking about how great pie pies was. It was I think the YouTuber was called No Bullshit, I think was his channel. And in one of his episodes, he's like just talking about Popeye's chicken, and they have these like delicious sides like red beans and rice and Cajun fries and biscuits and all this shit. Yeah, Popeyes is not good for you, but it's good eating. Yeah. My friend Carl used to look at girls and then he would say, not toxic or juicy. Like Terry A. Davis, God's Lonely Programmer. No, he wouldn't say toxic or juicy. He would say, oh, that'd be good eating. It's Carl. So obnoxious. Carl was very obnoxious. And he said, that girl, that'd be some good eating. Yeah. Comparing the women to the buffet. Yeah, I guess so. But it's not the first time or the last time a guy will refer to women as the buffet. I just thought I like his expression. Oh, that good eating, good eating. That used to kill me. I used to say, I used to tell my, it was only this one guy I used to work with when there would be like really like hot female chicks coming into the store we worked at. I would say, I'd hit it. He'd go, oh, Scott, oh my God. And then, and then I'd say, hey, Charles, I'd hit it. And he'd go, oh my God. Like, I think I repeated that joke several times. I didn't say good eating. I said, I'd hit it. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching. God bless. And the Jaws party begins the 50th Friday of Jaws on Friday night. So there'll be definitely a commemorative show for that. And so, yeah, it must have been my mother's dream to see Martha's Vineyard and to finally see her favorite movie from when she was 13, Jaws, came out June 20th, 1975. And yeah, that's like, yeah, I guess if you have a favorite movie and then you like go to the place that it was filmed at, it must be some like really fantastic feeling. Maybe it even transports you back to your youth, and in a certain way, it's kind of like time traveling. So, anyways, I'm glad some people got to live out their dreams. So I guess that's what the experience of life is really all about, I think.